Radio or its staff.
Woo! Yes, yes, y'all. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Welcome to another great show coming up. There's a lot to talk about, party people. First and foremost, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of folks. First, to my man, Earl Cooper for Earl Golf, in terms of his collaboration with Jordan and the Jordan brand in establishing the Jumpman and Golf Collection. Black-owned brother, him and his brother that went to Morehouse that played golf. So they're doing their thing. Another good shout out, another past guest, Mr. Wendell Haskins is having, couldn't make it down to West Palm Beach, but he had a premiere of his TV show that's going to be featured on CBS, another golf show called The Club Life, which is going to be fantastic. So looking forward to that. And what I really want to touch on is what's going on in the world. At this time, Afghanistan is a disaster of what's going on. Let's send our prayers to the folks in Afghanistan. You know, we know that Power Moves, we talk about a lot of the celebrities and sports athletes and key influential executives, but we also need to be weary of humanity and what's going on out in the world. And what's near and dear to my heart, of course, and that's the reason why I'm wearing this t-shirt, I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, baby, is my parents come from the beautiful island of Haiti. And we need to correct when everybody keeps saying Haiti, Haiti. We ain't hating. We are the land of mountains. We're the land of the rose of the highland, and therefore the flower of the highland, which is what Haiti stands for, from the Taino Indians. And so if you're looking for organizations to support in regards to what's going on, I'm going to provide you 4. These are 4 that I'm interested in. That doesn't mean that you have to support them, but just to let you know, you have options besides the regular ones that you see out there. Because we do find at times that the money does not go directly to the people. First organization, which is my dearest friend, my confidant, advisor, and also my nana. And that is Baina Bello's foundation, which is Fondation Félicité. They have a PayPal account spelled FONDAYSYON, Félicité, FELICITEE. PayPal, you can provide money there. It is not tax deductible, but the money's going directly to the people, and they're going to focus on the city of Cavaillon, which is right in Lake High. Also, you can send a PayPal. Another way is poufondationfelicite@gmail.com, which is POUFONDASYONFELICITEE@gmail.com, where you can send it there as well. Second organization to take note of is Hope for Haiti. Hope for Haiti does a lot of sending doctors, medical professionals to help support the people. They already have boots on the ground. Unfortunately, some of their employees have lost their houses there. So that's how critical it is down there. And a lady that supports it, which was referred to me by my friend Jacob York. Jacob York's been in the music business doing his thing, and he's going to be on our show in a couple of weeks. Karen Civil is the lady that promotes Hope for Haiti. So go to their Instagram and their website, hopeforhaiti.com. They have an infirmary at St. Etienne, and they're a 4-star charity navigator, which means to you that If you want to make sure your money is going to the right place, it is, because they're highly regarded by all the nonprofits. They're rated. Third organization I want to mention to you is fondcause.org. And Fondcause does microfinancing and entrepreneurship efforts. Fantastic. They help the people in IET in establishing businesses, providing them small little loans and teaching them how to become more entrepreneurial and to do business all across the world. They're also another 501c3, which means that if you donate to them, they can have boots on the ground. You get a tax deduction. And let's say, for instance, because Fondation Félicité is not a 501c3, you can dictate to them and say, hey, listen, the money that I'm putting here, please apply that to Fondation Félicité or any other organization. And lastly, I want a big shout out to my man, Jude Bernard, another private school kid like myself, went to high school and grammar school. He went to Bishop Ford. I went to Malloy High School. Then he went to St. John's. He's an entrepreneur, real estate developer. He's definitely a Blue Devil, Phi Beta Sigma cat. And he has what's called Cocktails for Cause Part 2, because he did it in 2010 for the earthquake. So he was surprised that he has to do it again. On this Friday from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., come with your Cocktails for Cause gear and mask at 895 DeKalb Avenue. He owns the facility, which is great. And so all the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds are going to Haiti. He's also a 501c3, and he's also looking to partner with any local organizations, boots on the ground. So once again, you can donate to him and let him know that you want to put money to Fondation Félicité, and he would definitely, fulfill your request. And so you can go to donations at thebrooklynbank.com. You can go to my Instagram page, JJ Silva 1, and the link of his GoFundMe page, because he's looking to raise $20,000 so that he can have some cash directly available for our folks and our brothers and sisters down in IET. And on that note, and then lastly, got to give a big shout out to my man Diamond J and EPMD Eric Sermon and Paris Smith. Currently are performing live in Shilen, Staten Island, with the folks with the UHH Museum, Rocky Bucano. Congratulations. And so now I want to kind of go into our guest today, give you a little bit of a history and the bio. Our guest is phenomenal. Hold on one sec. Oops. Make sure I get the right information. All right. So our guest is a first-generation Haitian American, born in Brooklyn, attended Virginia State University at HBCU, baby, majored in business management, and then soon after moved to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., Chocolate City, and working many 9-to-5 jobs around the town. And then he fell in love with the real estate industry and found success as a real estate associate and a real estate investor. As a child growing up in Brooklyn's in the house in the early 80s, he was often picked on for being Haitian or Haitian. Teachers could never pronounce his name correctly. Students will always have a cruel Haitian joke on hand. At times, he felt ashamed to be Haitian until he started reading about Haitian history. The fact that IET was the first country to have a successful slave revolt and win its own independence gave him a tremendous sense of pride. He started reading everything he can get his hands on in regards to the Haitian Revolution, relaying the stories to his own children. When he saw that his kids were just as excited as he was in learning the information, he realized he came into something. And that's when he decided to create elementary age children books so that they could appreciate the accomplishment of their ancestors. Therefore, this is how his self-publishing company, Thoroughbred Books, was born. So let's welcome to the show, Mr. Franz Derenoncourt Jr. Welcome to Power Moves, baby.
Oh man, thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So Franz, man, with this pandemic, how have you been? How's the family? You masked up?
Man, I'm masked up, man. The only place I don't wear my mask is in the house. But yeah, pandemic is crazy, man. It looked like it was getting better for a little bit. So I was getting excited, getting ready to go back on the road and make my moves because, I'm in the streets, all the time. So when I saw that things were taking a turn in the different direction, I was like, man, I was getting all prepared to go on tour and everything. So hopefully, we can still make some things happen.
All right.
Yeah, but other than that, family is good, blessed, man. Like we're doing all right over here. We lost a couple of, close ones, close relatives and friends. But the core, my core, unit as far as like my kids, my wife, my moms, and family like that, brother, we all good.
Awesome. So share with me, our show's all about the strategies of how to make money, how to attract power, and how to earn respect. So we're going to tap a little bit into the money segment right now, and we have about 4 minutes till break. But could you share with me the amazing way that you're able to make this Swiss money, as my partner Kevin could say? And the theme of our program today is going to be passion and as well as spiritual synergy. And that comes from my partner's Pro to CEO mantra of champions. So we're going to talk about the passion, how you've used your passion to make money, and how you've used your spiritual synergy. So with that being said, it's amazing how you've been making that Swiss money. And Swiss money stands for sales while I sleep soundly.
Okay, so I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Swiss money. So how did you develop your system of creating cash flow based upon your passion?
Wow, man. Well, it kind of just tuned in with how I wanted to live my life, right? Like I understood very early on in my professional career that 9 to 5 wasn't for me, right? Like I didn't like giving other people power over the moves that I wanted to make. Like I could still remember today on the 9 to 5, I always had a side hustle, right? When I had the 9 to 5. So I was in real estate really early. Probably when I was about 20 years old, when I first moved to Washington, D.C. And I had a 9 to 5 and I got laid off. I was like, man, that sucks. That was like my first, experience of, oh yeah, you can't work here no more. You got to go find something else. And I was sick to my stomach. So I got another 9 to 5, but had a side hustle as well. I got my real estate license. Right. So I was like, I'm going to start selling real estate on the side while I have the 9 to 5. And not only that, I started my own property management company. I had all of these different side hustles going on with my 9 to 5. But what I realized was something was going to have to give because I was focusing all of my real estate was my passion. Right. I enjoyed it. And that's what I wanted to do full time. But I had this false sense of security with the 9 to 5. I was like, man, I can't let this go. You know what I mean? Like I have the, benefits and I have, healthcare and I have all this stuff. So, but what's going to happen eventually, and what happened to me eventually was you can't serve, for lack of a better phrase, I've heard it before, you can't serve two masters, right?
Right.
So I had to make the decision if I was going to go follow my passion or if I was going to stay with this false sense of security that I had with the 9 to 5, and I eventually let the 9 to 5 go. And what I realized was once I made the decision to do that, I flourished in the real estate part because that was my passion. I wanted to be there. I put in long hours. It didn't feel like long hours. It didn't feel like work because that's what I wanted to do. So the passion fuels it. And, you know, and as long as you have that belief and confidence in yourself that you can do it, then it's going to happen, right? Because you're going to take all the steps necessary to follow those steps that you wanted, that you know you want to do. I didn't have a mentor, right? So I went through a lot of trial and error, but I want to change it for the world, man. Like I learned a lot, and it put me in the position that I am in today.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, you know, we got to pay some bills over here. So once again, this is Power Moves, with celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We'll see you after the break and continue our conversation with Franz Derenoncourt Jr., the mogul, baby, the passion mogul. See you after the break on In Touch News, reality radio where everyone is a star.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Listen to In Touch Radio anywhere on your phone,
Right now, man.
in your car,
I'll keep that going.
on your computer. It's a new world, baby, and we are global. In Touch Radio.
All right, we back. Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We're here with our special guest, Franz Derenoncourt, real estate investor, author, entrepreneur, and humanitarian historian, self-publisher, et cetera, et cetera. So as I mentioned all these things, in my opinion, making money provides freedom. So how has it helped you, and why is it necessary to build multiple streams of income?
Oh man, it's helped me tremendously, man. Like it's helped me. Just a recent example, during the pandemic, my kids had to be home from school, like being homeschooled and stuff. And my wife, who works with the government, she had to still go into work for a certain amount of time before she had her time off, but the kids were home.
Right.
So it gave me the opportunity to, you know, stay home with the kids, doing the virtual learning thing, making breakfast, making lunch, making dinner, you know what I'm saying, and keeping the house in order, you know what I mean? So it definitely gives a lot of freedom. You know, I can't, because like I said before with the 9 to 5, you know, having to ask permission to go take care of your family, or having to ask permission to go on vacation, or to make any type of move, you have to ask permission. That didn't really correlate with my beliefs. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be able to put myself in a position where I had the freedom to take care of my family and myself. So being an entrepreneur and having that Swiss money, like you guys say, it definitely helped me out during that time period.
So can you share with us what have you created to be able to provide that, right? So you told us from a big scale perspective, you know, what the freedom aspect and what it provided you, but could you walk us through what are the different things that you've created in terms of multiple streams of income to allow you to have this freedom? Break it down for our people so they can take the same, because like you said earlier, you didn't have a mentor. So now you're the mentor now. So teach, bro, teach.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I have so many different businesses right now. So my bread and butter is real estate, right? So I have my real estate investments that bring in passive income through rental payments. I have my property management company, right, where my company manages real estate investments for other real estate investors, right? And we just get a percentage from the rents that we collect before we forward it on to the investor, the property owner, the landlord. So that's a form of passive income as well. I was also in network marketing, right? In fact, I haven't been active in network marketing since 2000, I would say 2014.
Right.
But I still get residual payments from that company, right?
Okay, hold on. Well, rewind, time out. So hold on one second. Could you, because most people, when they think of network marketing, they're like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I would never do that. But you mean to tell me you stopped doing network marketing 7 years ago and you still receiving residual checks?
Absolutely, 100%. 5links, right? I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Five. I got my 5links mug right there. Right? Yeah, absolutely. I joined 5links in 2007, right? My brother and I were looking for an opportunity. 5links presented itself at the right time in our lives. We were both looking for something because you remember 2007 was a big economic downturn.
That's right.
So I was in real estate, right? And real estate took a huge dive around that time. So we were both, and he was in the entertainment business, and the
That's
entertainment business took a dive around that time. So we were both looking for opportunities. 5links presented itself, and we were head on, right, head in with both feet in, and we did really well. But I got to a point 7 years after I got in 2014 where I wanted to do something different. I never left 5links. I never quit or anything like that. But I was like, you know what? There are other things that I want to do. So I kept my account active.
Right.
So while I went and pursued other things, so that residual income, like since 2007, I've never missed a check from 5links. Right? So that's, 2000, what's that, 14 years? You know what I mean? So definitely, wherever there's residual income, that's where I want to be, right? People can say all they want about network marketing, but I know what it's done for me and my family. So I'm grateful for network marketing. It just has to be the right time in your life. It has to be the right company. And we lucked out. We found 5links, and 5links has treated us very well, right? So we have that. And then also I have my independent publishing company, right, where we tell stories about the Haitian Revolution. Right now, we have about 5 books. Well, we have 5 books. We have a bunch in the pipeline. I should have been. The pandemic kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. We didn't publish any books in 2020, but already this year we published 2 books, and with 2 more to come before the end of the year. So those books, I published them. They go to Amazon, and then as customers are purchasing those books through Amazon, I get paid a royalty, right? So royalties are another form of residual income. So we have that, and then also I have the catering business. That is more of a hands-on business. It's not much of a passive income business, but we're getting that to the point where we're going to open up a few restaurants. So those are going to start operating. So yeah, it's all about.
And I want to stop you there because we go way back, especially your older brother, Mr. Tupac Derenoncourt.
Tupac D.
That's Tupac D. And we both come from Brooklyn. Y'all was several blocks away while I was living on Lincoln Road. Y'all was in Lenox, right?
Right.
So can you talk about the fact that your mom was a single mom?
Yeah.
And now you're able to partner with your mother in doing this catering business?
Oh man, it's amazing. And the story about that is amazing also, what it turned into and how it started. Like entrepreneurship is pretty much all about identifying a problem, right? And coming up with a solution to that problem. My mom is a chef, right? She went to school, she graduated, she got a degree in culinary arts. She's a true chef. And the restaurant that she was working at closed down because of COVID, right? And she had, it was actually a restaurant that was part of like a big mega grocery store. I don't know if you ever heard of Wegmans. Right?
Yes.
So so the restaurant in Wegmans shut down, and they tried to get her to work in a different part of the store, like stocking shelves and doing all this other. I'm like, my mom is not young, you know what I mean? So once she told me what they were doing, I was like, nah, man, we can't have that. So we had a following already because we had a cooking show that we did on YouTube. And our following started to get really, really large. So I said, you know what, let's just, start cooking and selling these plates. And that started to blow up to the point where she retired from Wegmans, and now she's doing that full time. And now we're looking at opening up our first restaurant, and the catering business is doing very well. And it's just amazing. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to be able to give back to her in that way, just to provide my knowledge. I don't know anything about cooking.
Right. But you know how to eat that Haitian food, baby.
Oh, you know that for sure. You know what I mean? So it was amazing to be able to create something that she can do her passion fulfill, because she's passionate about cooking. So being able to create that platform for her where she can share her gifts with the world, it's a feeling like no other. So yeah, man, we just out here just opening as many businesses as possible, because not all of them are gonna explode, but something is going to, you know what I mean. And I've been fortunate where many of our businesses have been doing pretty well. So.
Well, I think the key aspect of it is understanding that the purpose of business is to generate income.
Correct.
Right. And so if we have multiple streams of income, then it's not necessarily, people get caught up in the word business, but it's really, like I said, generating several means of income. And as long as you surpass what your cost of living is, then now you're profitable, right? So Speaking of profitable, can you share with us how you've been able to be profitable, but also give back? Because, a lot of people don't know how much you've given back. Earlier in the conversation, I talked about our mutual Nana, Baina Bello, and how you've helped support Fondation Félicité. You've helped support other organizations. Can you share with us, because we got about 3 minutes, how the fact that you've generated, this money, you're able to support your mom in starting a business, and now you've also been able to support nonprofits?
Absolutely, man. It comes from wanting to give back, and paying respect to the elders, right? The ones that paved the way for us. I became very interested in Haitian history probably about 6 years ago, when I really started diving deep into finding out more about me, my ancestors. And through that journey of learning, I found Professor Bello, right? Mm-hmm. And literally she changed my life and the way I see things and the things that I know about Haiti and Haitian history and African history and pretty much spirituality and everything. So I was fortunate enough to form a relationship with her, like a mother-son relationship with her. And, I was publishing books, and I came to her with an idea of a book, and she was with it. And then we published a book together, right? She's the author, I published it. We went on tour together, and it was right before COVID, yes. Right? So COVID actually stopped our book tour. And but during that time, I spent a lot of time, as you know, we came down to Tampa, we went all through Florida, New York, pretty much the whole East Coast. And I found out a lot about the work that she was doing. And I was like, man, this is important work that this woman is doing. And I just wanted to find a way to support that. And once the book tour stopped, and I figured, let's shift, pivot to the virtual world. And that way, through the virtual world, we were able to spread that word out about Fondation Félicité and the work that she's been doing in IET, and also collect donations from those who are interested in the work that she's doing, and holding fundraisers and having a good time in the process. You
Right.
know what I mean? So it was amazing, and it's still amazing. And I'm blessed to be able to work with her and to help her in her mission.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great, great stuff. So once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives, because we got pay some bills. My producer be on me. So once again, this is In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everyone is the star. We'll see you after the break. I don't know how long the commercials are going to be. Sometimes it's 10 seconds or a minute, but we'll be seeing you soon.
In Touch Radio, where you can listen to a cruising flow of smooth soul and jazz, today's R&B, a fun touch of hip-hop and gospel.
All my music on one station.
Giving you a buffet of music, news, and entertainment. We're In Touch Radio.
All right, we back. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, how they earn respect. I'm here with my special guest, Mr. Franz Derenoncourt Jr. in the place to be. Listen, we're going to go into this power segment because I don't know how you do it, bro. You a husband, a father, an author, a self-publisher, a humanitarian. Where does your power come from? Like, how do you tap into that?
Man, my power comes from my belief. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that I'm gonna be good no matter what I do. You know what I mean? So it's the confidence, that once you put your mind to something, and once you put that energy, and once you do the research, and once you take the proper steps to be successful in something, that it's going to happen, right? Like I've done enough things in my life where I know that if it's something that I want to do and I put my mind to it, that I'm going to be successful in doing it. So there's power in that, right? In that belief. So yeah, I do a lot of things, right? So it's so I try to not spread myself too thin because, like you said, man, I got the wife, the kids, and the more businesses that you have, the more responsibilities. You know what I mean? So I don't. Life is also about balance. I try to keep everything as balanced as I can. Like there are times when things are out of balance and there's nothing I can do about it, right? Like if I'm launching a new product or if I'm launching a new company, I know that it's going to take more effort to launch that into the stratosphere, right? Like so I will have to focus more on launching something than the ones that are already kind of up, right? So once I launch it up into the stratosphere, then I can focus on, the other ones, keeping them up at a certain level. So that it's running on its own, right? That's the best thing about having a business is that once you launch it properly, it gives you the opportunity to kind of, all right, this one is going. So let me go take a look at this one. Let me go take a look at this. Let me go spend time with the kids. Let me go spend time with the family. And then when you come back, so you're not trading time for money. You understand? So it's so once you launch your business and your business is able to run on its own, then that gives you the ability to have that freedom. So there's power in your belief system, right? And I'm firmly grounded. I'm a very spiritual person. I talk to my ancestors. I talk to my higher power. I ask them for guidance. I'll be lying if I said I don't have any doubts sometimes, right? Like when you question yourself, like, man, like, is this the right move? Is this the right? Whenever I find myself questioning too much, then I just go and I meditate. I meditate and I put myself in a dark room and I just talk to the ancestors, right? And they respond, right? They talk back to me, and then I take that advice, right? And then it calms me down. And then before I even realize it, things are back where they're supposed to be, right? And even better than it was before. So it's just that belief, you've been there before.
Rewind, bro. Because you're talking about, you put this when you have doubts, because as an entrepreneur, as a human being, right? A lot of us have doubts in the things that we do and the choices that we make. And so, how did you learn that spiritual synergy to allow you to trust yourself and to trust in the belief, and then to have the wherewithal to talk with your ancestors, to believe in your higher power, to give you that guidance and that calmness to move forward?
Yeah, I think it's experience. You know what I mean? Like I'm not new to this. You know what I mean? Like I've been my own boss since I was, for the most part, 25 years old, right? So I'm 45 right now. So I'm 20 years experience. Like, I still get, I still get doubts for certain things, but I understand as a business, there's ups and downs, right? Like in real estate, there's ups and there's downs. In the publishing business, there's ups and there's downs. In the catering business, there's ups and there's downs. In entertainment business, there's ups and there's downs. So you just have to be able to ride that wave, right? And you understand that when things are down, you just have to get through those down moments, because there are going to be the moments where you are up and all the way up, right? But the key is it's always, even if business is going great, to always understand that it's not going to be like this forever, right? There's going to be time, like I'm happy right now that business is going great, but I understand that there's going to be a time where it's going to be down, right? So when you think like that, you don't overextend yourself. You don't get too high on the highs, right? So you plan for, okay, you know what? I'm going to put this away for when things are low or going down, so that, I have a cushion. And so that when things are down, I can still operate, make moves. And then also it's seasons, right? It's harvest season, and it's sowing season. So, when things are down, it's down for a reason. You have to go back, you have to reorganize, you have to re-strategize for when times get better. So I'm experienced in that. I've been through many ups and downs. So I know what's coming around the corner. It's not a surprise anymore, right? So that there's power in that, right? So, and being spiritually based, it just means you have to have, I don't go to a shrink, right? I don't go to a therapist, right? Like my ancestors are my therapists, right? Where I could just sit back and then I could just talk to them, and I could be like, and then they respond, right? They're in me, they're inside of me. So they respond loud and clear, and they give me specific instructions. And as long as you are coachable and you can follow those instructions, you'll be good. You know what I mean? And then, because it's not like you're here all alone. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, there's a loneliness about it. You know what I mean? Like, because you're running all of this stuff and everything falls on you. So it's like, man, and there's not that many of us where we don't have too many like entrepreneur support groups, right?
Right.
Right? Which probably won't be a bad idea, you know what I mean? Where a bunch of entrepreneurs come together every once in a while and start talking about things, because you know that you're not the only one, you know what I mean? But I never feel alone, because I know I could always go inside, and my spiritual belief is strong, and I could get the answers that I seek, because all the answers that I need are already inside of me. I just have to be able to quiet everything down and get the answers that I need.
You know, I'm loving that you're saying that. So, but break it down. Like, how did you develop this relationship so that you can get those answers? Because people, you know, whether some people have a belief system, some people don't, right? So, you know, how did you go about developing this system? Because, like you said, it was so easy for you to be like, man, I've been doing this for 20 years, right? And so you kind of fast forward it, right? But if a person is just getting ready to get started, what tips can you share with them that they should jump into to help them build it up like a kindergarten in their belief system?
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like it's a never give up mentality. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a burn a bridge type of, but I knew I wasn't gonna go back to the 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like that's like running back to the plantation. You know, like you maroon, you ran off of the plantation, and you're like, man, this is hard, right? I gotta start building my own fires. I have to kind of figure out how to feed myself and this and the other. Man, life was easier on the plantation. I didn't have any freedom, but I knew where my next meal was coming from and this and the other. So you have to kind of like make a choice, right? Like,
you know what? Hold on, hold that thought, because I, you know what? This past weekend was the anniversary of Haiti declaring that they're gonna say, you know what, we're gonna fight for our freedom, right? And I liked the fact that you just mentioned, you know what, as Haitian, we were slaves and we decided that we don't want to work in the plantation anymore. But then when we won, we had to figure things out. Right. Can you share with us how the books that you've published and the stories that you've told within those books to pass that on to other people, how has that helped you and how can that help others? Like, because you started I love the fact that you mentioned, you know what, you got to get to the point where you're like, I'm not going back to the plantation. I'm going to figure it out and do my own thing. So what are the lessons that you can share, and so which will therefore help people buy your books?
Yeah, I mean, we're not the first ones here, right? There were people before us that did it, right? So it's not like it can't be done. I wanted to share the story of the Haitian Revolution because, first of all, not enough people know about it, right? I didn't know about it, right? So once I started figuring it out, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like there's power in knowing that somebody accomplished something before you, right? Like something that you're currently trying to accomplish, somebody did that already, right? So we're over here, we're looking for, Black freedom, we're looking for, Black liberation, stuff like that. But if you don't know that there was a Haitian revolution, right, but that came before, then you don't know that this is something that you could actually get, you know what I mean? But when you understand that there's a precedent that, oh, wow, Black people came together, they fought against their oppressor and won, there's a lot of power in that, right? Mm-hmm. So, because that means that if it happened before, then it can happen again. So that's the real story that I'm trying to send out. And the younger that you know about these stories, the better, right? If you're 6 and 7 and 8 and you're reading about Boukman, right, who started the Haitian Revolution, you're reading about Mackandal, you're reading about Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, then you're like, oh, wow, the things that we're trying to accomplish, these guys did it, right? So we need to learn their stories. They have that blueprint. They left us a blueprint. So we have to kind of dig in and figure out as much as we can about that era because it affects us today. So when we see, and the thing is, we see IET today, I know a lot of people are just like, oh, them poor people and this and the other. They're some of the strongest people in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have the blood of those ancestors, the blood of those, the determination, the will of those people that stood up in the face of oppression and knocked them on their tail. You know what I mean? So that blood is still running through all of our veins. So we have to pay respect to them, right? Because they stood up for us. They didn't stand up for them. They stood up for those who came after them, right? Which is us. Mm-hmm. So it's important that we tell these stories. There's power in these stories. And the younger that we able to get our kids in the know of what their ancestors did, then the more powerful, the more prideful they will become. So
excellent. Hold that thought, because we got to pay some more bills, baby. More bills. You was getting ready to go in. But once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect on In Touch News Radio, reality radio, where everyone is a star. We're going to see you after the break.
We're playing your favorite old school.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers at the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Red Man, mama, the Red Man.
All right, we back. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We got our guest here, Mr. Franz Derenoncourt Jr. in the place to be. He was going in, man. You got to check out. Let's talk a little bit about how you got started with the self-publishing company and how you earn respect in that world.
Yeah, man. I mean, earning respect to me it's not what you say, it's what you do, right? Like it's your work ethic, right? So once I realized that, if it wasn't for real estate, right, and putting in the work in real estate and becoming, successful, I did really well with real estate. It gave me the freedom to explore other things that I was interested in, which is why I became a publisher, right? An independent publisher. Mm-hmm. And when I started telling when I came out with my first book, Haiti, the First Black Republic, I was 100% behind it, right? I went on tour with it. I went to different places with it. I was everywhere. I stood right behind it and I put in the work. I pushed it out, right? And it was something that a lot of people haven't seen before, right? Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people didn't know about the Haitian Revolution. So it kind of all started when I wanted my children to know about it. And we went to the bookstores and everything. We were looking for a story about Haiti that my son could read at a 7-year-old level, and there was nothing available. So, that entrepreneur mindset, the identifying the problem, coming up with a solution. So once I did that, I didn't need money from the book, right? But I also understood that you have to put some type of value. You can't just give things away, right? So mm-hmm. You have to put value, but also the people wanted it. They embraced it 100%. And they knew me as somebody that was 100, right? I wasn't, I formed a good reputation for myself. So when I came out with the book, then it was well received. So that's how I was able to earn respect, not just for me, but for my publishing company. And then what doubled that respect was when I followed it up the next year with another book. And then the year after that with another book. And then so that adds legitimacy, like, oh, this guy is not just, has this one book that he's running around with for 5-6 years. No, he's 6 books in. You know what I mean? And so that's a legit publishing company that you got right there. And we have no intentions of slowing down. So the respect comes with, okay, is this a one-hit wonder? You know what I'm saying? Or is this person here to stay? So they identified Thoroughbred Books as a publishing company that's here to stay, that's putting out a unique product. And now what's even a little like more, appealing to me, or was one of the things that I'm proud of, is I'm seeing other similar books pop up like mine, right? Like they're popping up now. They're like, oh, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And, so I'm kind of like opening a lane, right, for books like that to come out to educate kids on not Black history per se, because, there's books on Frederick Douglass and, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but these other figures who don't get that type of shine, right? Like the Toussaint Louvertures and the Jean-Jacques Dessalines and, the Marcus Garveys and, the Fred Hamptons and stuff.
Oh, speaking of Marcus Garvey, today's his birthday, baby. Today's his birthday.
Absolutely.
Birthday, Marcus Garvey, our ancestor.
Yes, indeed, 100% RBG. So yeah, man. So it's just a matter of, being able to stand behind it, put the work behind it, and then, it'll garner that respect that you need in order to move forward.
How did you convert the disrespect that you had growing up in Brooklyn, just like me, where they used to be like HBO, Haitian body odor, the jokes were bananas.
Yes.
And now you've worked with folks in the embassy, you've done talks at Harvard and Ivy League schools and schools. Can you share with us how you can fuel the disrespect and form it into a formidable version of honor and respect, which is one of the major mantras of the Haitian culture?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a matter of like knowing, it's the knowledge, right? Like I honestly feel that if I knew about Haiti's role in history, then I would have had fuel to fight back, right? I would have had ammunition to shoot back, at the people who had negative things to say about me being Haitian, or about, people saying negative things about IET. So, but I didn't know, right? I just looked at it like people like, damn, why is everybody picking on me? I didn't know. Like my parents didn't instill that in me. My parents, they immigrated here from IET, but they didn't sit me down and like, listen, this is who you are, right? And this is where you come from. So they didn't have that conversation with me. So they just set me out there. It's like, all right, you go to this Catholic school, you get a good education, and that's my job for you. I gotta go work these 2, 3, 4 jobs. Right? So I was I was kind of out there on my own to deal with, identity, right? So when I came across the information, I was like, man, I wish I knew this when I was a kid. Right. And that's one of the things that fueled me to write books on that level, right? So that other kid, that other Franz that's growing up right now, you know what I'm saying, that's you know, is getting bullied for being Haitian or whatever. It's not the same being right now. Being Haitian is kind of cool.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the same like as it was back in the '80s when I was growing up. But definitely you want that to be rooted in something. You know what I mean? You don't want to just be like, oh, I'm Haitian, I'm cool. You want to know where that comes from, where that respect comes from, right? So you want to know your history. You want to know where you come from. You want to know those major players who sacrificed for you. You know, you know, it was born out of that. And then just me wanting to tell the story to as many people as possible. And then just taking advantage of opportunities. Like once people saw my book is very unique, it's like, oh yeah, you want to come talk over here? You want to come talk over there? You want to do this? You want to do that? And I was blessed enough to be able to take up a lot of those opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I had the 9 to 5, right? But that's another thing, like being a little bit financially secure, it allows you to go explore your other passions, right? So because I didn't have to I'm not, you know, like the paycheck to paycheck, you know what I mean? It's like you just focused on, all right, how am I going to pay the rent tomorrow? How am I going to get food on the table? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? That kind of takes you away from your passions, right? Like there might be things that you think in your head that, man, I would love to do that, but I just don't have the time, right? So that's one of the things that I'm grateful for, is that I was able to see that early on in my life that, you know, different things, I could put myself in position based off of, you know, different opportunities that I take business-wise down the road that will put me in a better place to pursue some of the things to pursue a lot of my interests and my passions. So, and turn that into income, right? So it's not just you doing that, you know, it's not a hobby, it's a business.
It's a business, right?
But it's something that you enjoy, right? And then eventually it starts paying for itself, and then eventually it starts turning a profit. You know what I mean? So it's
hold that thought, because I'm loving what you're talking about, because you really created that process of profitability, turning your passion into profitability. But what I want to ask you is, if you have a daughter, or you know, not even her, but let's just say, for instance, there's a young girl that you want to mentor that's a single mom, right? Out of respect for even your own mother, how do you help her receive respect and be in business for themselves, even if they're working a 9 to 5? We got less than 3 minutes, because you know we got to still promote your stuff. So make it short and quick within 60 seconds. Sure,
no doubt, man. Like it's just a matter of believing in yourself. You know what I mean? And taking that step, right? I remember there was this movie I watched when I was a kid. It was like Indiana Jones. Right? I can't remember. It was a whole bunch of them. I think it was the Temple of Doom or something like that. But it was like they were on this high cliff or something like that, and it was like one of the riddles or something that they had to go to get over this huge bridge that had just fell. There was this huge gap. They had to get across this bridge, and they were like, "There's nothing here to walk on." Right. And then the guy was like, you know, they reading this riddle, it's like, you just have to believe in yourself and take that first step. Right. And they took the step, and it ended up being like an invisible bridge.
Right. I remember that.
And it's like, you know what I mean? So that's what it looks scary, you know, in the beginning, but you have to have that belief that you're going to be good. And I think a lot of that fear holds a lot of people back from pursuing what they want to do, no matter what their circumstances are. You know what I mean? I know single moms with 3, 4 kids, right? 5 kids, and that are killing it right now. You know what I mean? That are doing really well because they had that belief, you know, they had that passion. And they was like, you know what, we're going to get it done regardless. You know, I don't care what obstacles, you're always going to have obstacles. It's not going to be easy. Knowing that going in is key. It's not going to be easy. Things are not going to fall in place. But those types of things are what's going to make you stronger, right? Those are tests that make you stronger as you pursue your goals, right? So you have to go through it.
So speaking of stronger, because we got less than a minute left, how do people consume FJD, Thoroughbred Books? This is your time to promote your commercial, baby. Bring it on.
Awesome, man. Yeah, definitely, man. I got a lot of different things going on, but for sure, Thoroughbred Books, that's my baby. You know, you want to be able to educate the youth, right? That's one of my missions. Know your history, know your ancestors, know your strength. Thoroughbred Books is there to educate the youth, not just in Haiti, but to give people that it's a story of oppressed people coming together, fighting back, and winning, right? It's about us coming together as a people, right? Where one of the major things that the oppressors did was separate us, but in unity, it's a cliche, you know what I mean? But we have to come together. We have to unite, be able to unite, and knowing the more we know about each other, the more we know that we're all in this together, right? So we have to be able to do that. And the younger you know it, the better. So definitely take a look at my website, thoroughbredbooks.com. That's THOROBRED books. So no UGH. You take the UG out of thoroughbred, right? And then also you can find all my books on Amazon, right? Just type in Haiti, the First Black Republic, Boukman, Makandal, She Rose, Toussaint, all that stuff is on Amazon. So definitely check it out and support, man. We're gonna be here. We're gonna keep dropping it. I'm not planning on going anywhere. I have my board right here that has over 10 books that we're gonna drop over the next few years. And we have stories to tell, and we're gonna tell them.
All right, great. Now, do you have any of your books right now? Because I see some of the artwork.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is
Sorry, DJ Anna. We just had to, I just had to make sure that my man showed his books and his artwork.
Yeah, definitely. This is the first book. This is my first baby, Haiti, the First Black Republic, right? Jean-Jacques Dessalines. This is the book I got with Baina Bello, She Rose of the Haitian Revolution, right? So definitely all those are on Amazon. This one I just dropped, right? It's actually a board book, right? The epic story of Toussaint Louverture. Right, so it's like a coming of age story of Toussaint when he was a baby all the way up until the revolutionary that he became. So that's great storytelling, for the young ones. So yeah, and we have 3 more others that I don't have available with me right now. But yeah, check us out on Amazon. Make sure you cop some of that stuff. They're great gifts. You got the holidays coming around the corner, so make sure the little ones in your life, make sure they know about the Haitian Revolution's going to change their life.
All right, that's what's up. Once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, how they earn respect. Go follow Thoroughbred Books on IG, all the social platforms. Go to the website, get you a book. Once again, a great episode of Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. And support those causes that are supporting IET. We out.
Peace.